pink champagne, I'm totally vibing. It's true what they say, it's all about timing.
Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to Unscripted. My name is C Chronicles and I go by the name C Chronicles on all my social media platforms in case you want to follow me on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. Now if you're new on this channel guys, I post vlogs as well as Western fragrance reviews. So if you like that style of content and you're not subscribed, please do consider doing so by clicking the subscribe button and joining the family. So those who are returning, thank you so much for the continued support. Remember, I do have a second channel, C Chronicles Talking Sense, where I focus on Middle Eastern fragrances for those who may be interested in fragrances of that nature. Now, welcome to today's video. I have these two fragrances to compare, right? I have Guerlain Intense and I have Seductive Noir. Now, this was a recommendation from one of my subbies to purchase because they know I am crazy about this DNA. Now, the reason why I decided to take my Intense instead of taking the Perfume or the EDT, which the three I likened to this, or rather this is likened to the three. I decided to take this one because this kind of shifts closer to the Intense to my nose, right? So I'm going to do a quick comparison here to tell you my thoughts as to whether Guess did nail this fragrance or it's offside. I'm going to spray Guess on the left side. It's going to be I'm going to spray Guess on the right side, which is going to be the left side on the screen or something like that. Okay, but anyway, this is the arm that I'm spraying the Seductive Noir on. And then I'm going to spray my Guerlain on this side. Now, it looks like Guess is doing, something in terms of bringing us alternatives. It's something that took a while for me to figure out. It was only when I came with my Bella Vita that somebody said to me, that is, a fragrance inspired by Versace Eros. And when I smelled my Versace Eros, I was like, oh, right, yeah, you're right. And it seems like in this line as well, they're going for the same thing. This one is going to be drawing inspiration from the Guerlains there, and then the red one I think borrows from Baccarat Rouge 540 or Slash Cloud. If you like one of those DNAs, you're gonna love that. I think they also have a one called Kiss in this bottle. That one draws inspiration from Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana. I'm just saying this in case you want to know what the other ones are inspired by, so I will see if I can maybe sniff the other ones when I get in store, and if they're closer I will then come in 100% drop a compilation. So we want to start with this one that seems to be drawing inspiration from this one, right? So this comes across as aromatic. You can almost immediately get that identifiable factor that it is inspired by this, but the notes are a bit of a throw off there. I do get an aromaticness. They did put list the note of sage in this one. They listed jasmine sambac as well, vetiver vanilla and velvet peony. I do not know why they did not list the note of anise, or also known as licorice, and why they did not list the note of lavender, which I feel is in the forefront of this fragrance. I mean, to talk about this fragrance and not talk about the aromatic lavender, it doesn't make any sense. More so that this one kind of arrives at almost, the same thing. This fragrance does indeed feel, as though it draws inspiration from this one. But there's a little bit of a hit or miss here and there. If you wore this fragrance, right, people will probably think you are wearing Guerlain Intense, but if you have the real thing, you will know that the refinement that you get from this Guerlain Intense, the way the vanilla mixes there with the tonka, something that they didn't say is in here actually. They did not list the note of tonka unless I'm mistaken, unless I missed that part. This one has a double dose of vanilla actually that mixes with the tonka there, creating a rich, lush, seductive fragrance, one that is even difficult to describe. And I will say, when it comes to this, right, though that note is not listed, I cannot see how they would have arrived at this type of DNA without the inclusion of at least the anise, right? So I think it is maybe just the anise there that is a bit off when it comes to this. Off in the sense that it's quite difficult to pin. I have in the past even bought one Guerlain clone that was from Paris Corner, and I decided to drop it right there and then. I had to dispose of that fragrance. The anise in that fragrance was doing the most, and it was just throwing the scent profile off. You could tell that they were going for that DNA, but it was kind of pushing it so much to a point of bug sprayation. Then it was after that I just thought, well, maybe it is pretty complex to to replicate or something like that. But I do have oils that actually nail this DNA. So anyway, back to Seductive Noir. I'm going to say yes, if you're on a budget, and you're looking for something that's going to represent this fragrance, it's probably going to do. If you don't mind that kind of offside-ish feel of what I think is going on there with the anise note, or that licorice note that is kind of feeling as though it's a little bit busy there. If you don't mind the feel of how the sage, okay, the sage is doing whatever it's doing here, then it's going to work. On skin 101, side by side, you can tell the difference in the sense that this is refined. And I'm not saying this because it's a Guerlain, guys. You know me. I mean, if this was 100, I would just come out right and say it's 100. I'm going to put this one at about 70% identical. You won't be missing that much if you're on a budget. But to say it's like an outright, they nailed it, or it's better than, or it's whatever, I'm going to say no. This just feels as though, you know, it's trying too hard in a certain element, that anise that is a bit on the offside tone. It does, you know, seem to be a very good contender in terms of lasting power, because this one lasts till the next wash, and this one does the same thing as well. So it is quite beastly there in performance if you are after lasting power. And from both fragrances, I do get a DNA or a juices that are safe enough to wear even if you're a man. The only thing that I think would be maybe a bit bothersome is the fact that maybe the DNA in itself, by those who know it, has been identified as feminine, even femme fatale to a certain extent. But the aromatic tone in both these fragrances make them the sort of fragrances that even a man can pull them off without any problem. They both speak elegance, guys. If you don't have this to compare, honestly, I would root for Seductive Noir. But if you have this and you've used this, you will find it a little offside-ish there. Or if you have this, you love it so much, you want this, you know, or you want to wear them both at the same time so that you save one, that's fine too, because this one is a little bit on the pricey side, and I picked this one up for $50 equivalent. It was about 800 and something rand, so that translates to about $50 equivalent. So if you want something that you can really just to splash yourself on, then this is definitely going to be a good contender. Otherwise, yes guys, both fragrances are good. Both of them are woody, they are both spicy. This one has got a warmness to it because it, you know, remains in check. This one, in terms of how the spiciness presents itself, it becomes a little bit all over the place. But yes, there is that unmistakable factor that this fragrance, this gift Seductive Noir, does indeed draw inspiration from Mon Guerlain Intense. For those who are looking for a cheapie, a fragrance that's going to smell like this without throwing them off budget wise, then yes, it's certainly going to be this. If you haven't interacted with this one at all, yes, you can purchase this. It's not going to throw you off 100. It's going to give you somewhat of a representation, but once you get your nose on the real thing, you're going to be able to decipher the differences there. In as much as a clone, as a standalone, I would say yes, I absolutely recommend this fragrance. Absolutely recommend this fragrance. If you can do this DNA as a standalone, it's perfect, you know, without, you know, me comparing it to whatever. But unfortunately, I have to, because it does feel very, very, very similar to this to an extent of 60-70%. And it's undeniable that it does draw inspiration, guys, from Mon Guerlain Intense. So I will try also to check out a couple of guest fragrances. It took me by surprise that they are dropping fragrances there that draw inspiration from some of these most expensive fragrances. So that's a good thing. For those who do not like maybe certain clones that maybe are in your face looking like they're cloning a certain thing, that's going to be a plus as well. The bottle is nice, it's elegant to look at, you know, and actually it's going to put me off budget because I'm tempted to just buy the whole lot and have them there in my fragrance library just because of the bottle. If you wear fragrances specifically for seasons, or if you're into rotation trays, these are the ones that I would say you would want to pull out maybe for winter or for fall, because the spiciness and the warmness and the woodiness in these fragrances just scream fragrances that are suitable for that type of season. C Chronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Drop it in the comment section as well if you know any other guest fragrance that smells like one of the popular fragrances out there. It'll be very helpful for those who are looking for fragrances that are on the affordable side. Remember to turn on post notifications on both my channels, guys. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Stay safe, stay blessed. Remember, I love you as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.